Hi, folks, and welcome into another edition of This Week in Pearl. I'm your host, Frank Hutton, and I am excited to bring you this show today. We just had the committee deadline on the bills coming out of everything in the House and the Senate. The first deadline just happened, and I'm going to bring in our esteemed guest, Representative Gene Newman and Senate Pro Temp Dean Kirby, and we're going to talk about a lot of that to include education and how HB 2 got killed in the Senate and what may survive and what may actually pass in the House on education. So don't go anywhere, because when we come back, I will bring our guest on and we will talk about just that. So we'll be right back.
Here in Pearl, we have Trustmark Park. It seats 8,500 people. It's a great venue that we have here locally. You can catch a baseball game. We have a new team, the Mississippi Mud Monsters, so we're so excited about that. And Trustmark Park, the stadium's been fully renovated. Adjacent to that, we have Bass Pro Shop, as well as the Mississippi outlets that people can come shop and enjoy and have a great time. So it's a good place to come. It's a destination spot for our city. We did a $12 million renovation to our Parks and Rec several years ago, and what we were missing was another key area for our children to come and just be able to hang out and have fun, but also have some playground equipment that was really cutting edge. I've always thought if you can get your community together, then you can have a stronger sense of community. And I think that's what Main Street brings to the table for us. And even though we're a post-World War II city and our architectural doesn't signify a downtown, we're trying to have an area that we create that people can come together and have a sense of community.
Welcome back into this edition of This Week in Pearl, where we're going under the dome. And today I have my esteemed guest who join me every single week. We're going to discuss some really interesting stuff. I have Representative Gene Newman and Senate Pro Tem Dean Kirby.
Hey, y'all.
Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
Are we surviving?
I don't know.
Kinda.
Are we drinking?
I'll let you know at the end of the week.
Are we drinking through the fire hose?
Yes.
I mean, it's been a crazy week.
Yes.
Well, we had ice storm, which kind of just paused everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was just this.
Yeah, the ice melted and we had a flood.
It was it was an explosion. Tell me about it on the Senate side.
Oh, well, I mean, it's crazy. Actually, we had two senators at North Mississippi that just couldn't get here unless they came by helicopter.
Wow.
So, that was it. But one of them came the middle of the week and the other one came Thursday or Friday. So, from North Mississippi. So the roads, they began to travel. They still have probably, I don't know, at least 10,000, I would guess, people up there without electricity. And considering the fact that you had, I know it was 85,000 at one time without electricity. It's really, really been bad. But so we've passed some legislation, hopefully, to help those folks, and the best we can, working with MEMA, and hopefully, well, I know that the House will do something as well. They're as concerned as we are.
Right. So over on the House side, how would you describe this past week?
Well, let's say wide open. Put the pedal to the metal and let it roll. So like him, we lost, for all practical purposes, we lost a week. Speaker's father passing, and then the ice storm. I do want to say we still have a couple of House members that still don't have electricity. I mean,
really?
Yeah,
we had one at the end of the week.
But I mean, I said
really.
That
so
was
there's
at the
still
end of the
people
week.
in North. I did not. I thought by now all power had been restored.
No, it's still what, 10,000 people maybe.
Yeah, at least 10,000 people that on the energy and.
TVA.
Well, it's the TVA.
TVA.
It's the some of those municipal authority power companies are, I mean, they, you know,
Some of the small, right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
they're struggling, but some of the bigger ones are still struggling down, because you got people that, like one of the House members. I mean, he knows he's going to be the last one to get power, because he lives at the end of a road and then once you hit a driveway, it's several hundred yards long. So he's got 4 or 5 poles down on his property to even get the power to his house. So yeah, you got those kind of situations.
They had, I understand, over 1,600 trucks up there working with the boom trucks, trying to clear property and put up lines and doing stuff. One guy described it as a hurricane of the north.
Yes.
And it was really, really bad.
It's really, really bad. I know that the ice storms themselves, you know, when all that weight gets on everything and it just pulls everything down. And then when you get a little bit of wind and start to move, it just amplifies it. So sometimes it's worse than a hurricane or a tornado, because, you know, those winds are usually focused in and channeled, and it just tears up a swath of something. But this just blankets everything.
We had one Senator Whaley, that lives up north Mississippi, that he actually got his big tractor and was clearing the roads so that the repair trucks could even get in there. And then he went out on the interstate and started grading and clearing the exits and the ramps and entrance ramps so people could even get on the interstate, which trucks spent 2 or 3 days just parked and running out of diesel and everything else that you can imagine on the interstate. So it was terrible.
Well, I heard one of the power company guys was talking, and he said this may have been worse than Hurricane Katrina, because Hurricane Katrina came and went, and you dealt with the aftermath.
Right.
This hung around for a week.
I know.
I mean, it took a week for all that ice to melt off. So until that rain started on Friday night or whenever it was.
And then when they think they have lights and everything's good, and everything starts thawing out, then they find that they have frozen, broken pipes and water's going everywhere, and it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. We're just not equipped for that here in this state. We're just not equipped for that. That's not something that we're used to having to deal with. So I feel for everybody. I just not realized that we still had 10,000 people still without power in rural North Mississippi.
Yeah, but a week ago at this time it was like 85,000.
Yes, right. It was 85,000. It was a lot. Okay, so committee stuff.
Committee been gone. that over with.
Yeah,
for that round. Anyway.
That first round deadline was last week.
It was.
Social media all ablaze because of HB2 did not come out of committee in the Senate. Lots of people talking about it. Let's just start there.
Well, let me say this on it. You know, I was talking to a senator sits across the aisle from me, also from North Mississippi, and I said, I probably had at least 200 emails and texts and, you know, on this. And he said, I've probably had 1,000. He said, probably more than 1,000 is what he said. I want people to realize that this wasn't just school people that was texting and calling. I've heard someone make a comment, yeah, well, all the administrators had all their teachers call and all this stuff against it. Well, a lot of them did, but that by far was not the majority of the call. It was the parents that are concerned about their children in their schools. So I want everyone to understand that the parents got really involved in this, and we appreciate that because we want to know what they want. And
of course.
We you know, my dad told me, Gene's heard me say this, told me when I was really young, and I've never forgotten it. He said, if you want to make a friend for life, do something for someone's child. If you want to make an enemy for life, do something to someone's child.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's true, and I've never forgotten it. And we're here to help the children. That's the purpose of education, and to help our state in the future. We're doing that. We feel like we're passing some good legislation and helping, and we're really proud of our kids, by the way. The Mississippi Miracle's true.
Yes, it is, and we talked about that last week. So if y'all didn't watch that show, if y'all missed that one, you should go back and watch it, because we talk about the Education Miracle and the fact that we were highlighted on Fox Business
Yes.
about the Mississippi education. I think I made the comment. I know I did. I made the comment of why fix what's not broke.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're doing really, really well in education, just leave it alone. All this trying to port and move and let kids choice and all, why?
Well,
that doesn't make any
yeah.
sense, in Frank's opinion. And
Well,
I'm glad that other people.
Well, Frank, you're right in a lot of ways. The really good A-rated and the B-rated school districts did not want that bill.
Of course.
I mean, they just did not want it. They think we've got a good thing going. We're improving. You know, we're at capacity. We feel like we're doing a good job, and they are according to the test scores. And that, like I said last week, that didn't happen with just administrators and teachers. That happens with parents being involved, and those parents really got involved on this bill. I would have thought that the poorer school districts, the D and the very few F school districts that we have left, I would have thought they might have been for it, but they were not either, and neither were private schools. Honest to goodness, I had, like I say, at least 200 emails. I had 3 for it. One was from Rankin County. I'm not even sure he's in my district. So, you know, we're there to represent the people.
Sure, right.
And,
And that's
if
what
the
the-
people want something, then we need to try to do it.
And the
So,
people don't want this. They do not
not
want.
not in Rankin County.
No, they do not want this school choice.
Yeah,
Absolutely not here.
Oh yeah.
No, they do not want school choice. That is not something that we want to do. There's other ways of fixing.
Sure. And
Education's
like I say, we
problem.
passed the Portability Act.
Right, and I was just fixing to say, you passed like 8 or 9
Oh, we did.
individualized
We did.
bills specific that you guys moved off the floor, voted on it, and sent to the House. And so, Representative Newman,
And
those
they've
are
passed some of those
I was
bills.
thinking to say, what
Not our bills, but the same, basically the same. bills.
those are going to you guys, one of which is a portability. It's portability which would allow the school to decide whether or not to accept.
Well, it
that
does.
child, is that
we leave
right?
everything up to the school district. I hate to interrupt, but it was a Senate bill at first. But
Yes.
no, all ours says is a school district can't veto a kid leaving. In other words, we have to release a kid if they ask for release. We don't tell any school district they have to take them.
Right, you're
That's
not-
up to
right,
them.
right.
And so, yeah, and we didn't change it.
And that punts it over into the House, where do you think the Speaker gets behind some of these Senate bills? I know I'm asking you to get your crystal ball out, but
I don't know. I have no idea. I can't. I honestly cannot answer that question. I don't know.
right.
I don't know what we'll do with it. You know, or I
didn't
don't know
know-
what the education committee will do with it.
I didn't know if you'd heard any scuttlebutt in the hallway about it.
You
water fountain talk.
you hear anything and everything at the
You
Capitol.
do.
If you want to hear about it, you can hear about it at your
Right.
Capitol. Yeah.
Because I mean, all the things that they passed were in HB2,
Right.
in some form,
In some form.
right? So there's some of that. I would think that if the Speaker, wanted to get some of this passed, I mean, something is better than nothing, right? I mean, that's
Well, that's the way I would look at it. But
Right.
I don't know. That's the game is afoot. That's all I can tell you.
And I'm going to this is a political game. I want to ask this because last year, and this is Frank's sitting here opinion. Last year, HB1 got just rammed into the Senate, and it caused all kinds of chaos, and all kinds of things happened, and the Lieutenant Governor, Delbert Hosemann, put a smile on his face, and they pushed it right on through, and everything was fine. That is not going to be the case this year. I do not believe, Senator.
I think you're correct.
I believe that's so. What I'm saying is what happened last year is causing some of this year in the House. Would you maybe agree with me? The game's afoot.
The game is afoot. That's
Yes, right.
Yeah. And, you'd think the House and the Senate are always fussing on every bill, but they're not. I mean, 90% of the things we do,
Sure.
we agree on. And Gene's one of my very best friends, and I've
Right.
got other good friends there. So we're not like
No.
each other at all. We're
just saying that
we're
there's
kind of, I tell you, friend, we're kind of like a big jigsaw puzzle.
Right.
Some people start up here in the left corner, some start right, some start at the bottom. Maybe even someone starts in the middle. We're just starting at different places.
Correct.
We're
And
gonna
I'm
get
just
this
saying
puzzle
that's
put
a little
together.
salty wound, a little bit maybe from last year.
I think it's more like we're really just a big old family.
yeah, and
Yeah,
Big
we-
old, if you've ever been
argue
around a
and
big
fuss.
old family, we do some feuding and fighting.
inside the family. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, a senator that I'm also friends with that I know very well, I'm not going to call him out because he had an opportunity to sit on the show, but I do know him. He's in North Rankin County. But he mentioned on his Facebook just the other day about, how sad it is that all my bills get killed, and this is why, and I'm thinking, okay, I like what Representative Newman talks about. The legislature is there to kill bills.
That's right.
It is.
If it's good, it will get pushed through. It takes years, and I wanted to let my freshman senator friend know that just hang tight, brother. it may come back around. You just never know. But the whole point is this: to get back to education, to bring that back around. HB 2 dead in the Senate. It's not going to come out. We know this. The ones that you pass over to the House, it's a wait and see. Probably.
Just wait. We just have to wait to see what the committee will do to it. I mean, they may change the language up and send it out to the floor, and we may do something along that line. As a rule, anything to do with school choice, I'm not going to vote for.
Right.
Because
Even
my
the
people,
even the portability side of
I
it.
don't know that I'd vote for that. Simply because nobody in my district has said we want that.
Right.
Not many people want to leave a
look,
Rankin County school, whether it be in Brandon, Northwest, or Pearl.
Well, I have somebody who works for me, directly for me, that's, divorced single mom, that's stuck in a situation where she can't leave the house she's in. But it would benefit her because she works here in Pearl if she would be able to bring her kids
She can
from
do that
Rankin
now.
County School.
She can do that now.
Oh, no, she can't.
Oh, the Rankin County will not release
Thank
her.
you.
Okay.
So would it not, but, and of course they blame the lawsuits and the court cases and the segregation numbers and all this stuff that we shouldn't even be dealing with that anymore. But we are. But there are things I think that would be beneficial.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about very small carve-outs here. We're not
That's
talking
right.
about,
A handful of people.
we are not talking, but I do think there are things that would be beneficial. I do see where that would be a benefit because it's not that Pearl schools won't take the kids. It's that Rankin County schools won't release the kids.
Right, and that's
And
all
so-
our bill does. That you have to release.
so would the school district be able to say, yes, we're not taking any kids, we're going to selectively pick? I like the idea of that because there will be small instances where that would be beneficial.
Well, and capacity is a problem in
It is.
Rankin County.
It is.
I mean, we've got still not. I don't know in Pearl schools we have any, but other Rankin County schools we still have some classes in double wide type trailers.
I know, right?
So, are you familiar with what happens when the camel gets his nose under the tent?
I guess I'm not, educate me there, sir.
When a camel gets his nose under the tent, he's coming right on in.
Yeah, he's going to lift it up. And come in.
So what you're saying is if you open Pandora's box,
You
at
can't
all,
get it closed.
you're never going to close that lid.
Yeah, and of course, if they on our portability, if they changed it, we would kill it ourselves.
So anyway, that's
So,
that's just a
if-
simple reality. I'd love to be able to help one person like that, but
Yeah.
here's the other reality of, you know how many housing starts we've had in Pearl over the last year? You know how many? I
do.
understand how many
do.
more there's going to be.
I do.
Over the,
It's
our
gonna be
school's
an
already at capacity.
explosion.
Our school is already at
Yes.
capacity, and the sad thing about it is, that's not a sad thing. The other thing about it is, Rankin County Schools has got the same situation. I mean, you look at
All of
I mean,
them.
Brandon,
Northwest Rankin just had to
Northwest
build a new
Rankin.
school.
Pisgah.
Pisgah,
Yeah.
Puckett,
all
every
of
one
them.
of them.
We're going to have to
Florence.
build. We're going to have to build more classroom space.
Oh, we are.
There is no doubt at Pearl schools.
And that's
they
a
are
good
going-
thing.
That's a great thing. We are going to have to build more classroom space at the high school. There is no way around it. It's going to have to happen.
People are moving to Rankin County
They are.
because of our school.
And there's other things happening economically in Rankin County that are going to be driving that as well. As
Absolutely.
you said, rooftops are huge. So, look, are there things in there that I do like coming from the Senate? Yes. Do I see where that would be beneficial? Yes. Could that be more worked out on a local level without having a bill, Representative Newman? Probably so.
Yeah.
But I'm just bringing that to everyone's attention that, there are things that would be beneficial that maybe all of this just gets killed this year and we talk about it some more, which I'd be for that.
Yeah, and let me say again, for the people that maybe didn't see the past show where we talked about this, as far as athletics or extracurricular activities, we're not changing any of the rules. I mean, this bill just suggests release.
Sure,
So,
sure.
So the association, athletic association, they have a rule right now. If you transfer from one school to another, you have to
Yeah.
sit out a year. Hey, whatever they decide, we're not getting into their business there. And that's the rule right now. So if a kid did go from Pearl to Brandon or Brandon to Pearl,
Right.
it'd have to sit out a year.
Which I think is great.
So,
Maybe you should
unless
talk,
unless
you should
they
talk to
change
the-
their rules,
You
we're
should
not.
talk to the NCAA and school them on some of that.
And they can change their rules anytime they
I
want to.
know, right?
Yeah, some federal judge will just throw it out.
Yes. So I'm glad that both chambers are listening
To the people.
to the people,
We
because that's
are.
what you're elected to do, and the people don't want a whole bunch of school choice rammed down their throats.
That's right.
And that's just not going to happen. So let's talk about something that is coming through: teacher pay raises.
Yes,
Let's talk about teachers' pay raises. Y'all had a bill over in the Senate.
We
that,
did.
That you moved over to the House.
we did. A teacher pay raise, and then also for retired teachers. But teacher pay raise, we did $2,000. And when the chairman said it in committee, and he also said it on the floor, we're going to start out with $2,000 for teachers and assistant teachers pay raise, and hopefully we can go up to $5,000 if we have the money at the end. But we want to make sure that the bill stays alive, and we don't want to give less than $2,000. And the House, I think, then
Doesn't yours include junior colleges and the?
ours does. It
IHL?
includes
All the way
junior
to
college,
senior college.
mid-level that we have for junior college professors and IHL, and that amount was 133.6 million, I believe. That's with $2,000 pay raises, and then plus the university professors and others. So if you're talking about $5,000, you're talking about 400 million probably. That's what I
Well,
would-
ours,
Well,
ours is just school teachers.
It was just teachers 5,000 across the board.
well, the reason,
but then 3,000 for special ed.
Okay.
yeah, and we're
Okay.
big into that too. We have a bill that we passed years ago called mid-level, and what that bill said was if you teach at a community college, the average pay should be the average pay between IHL, the universities, and the high school, or K through 12, mid-level. We've not gone by the law, in my opinion, on some of these, and we actually have some community college professors and teachers and all that are making less now than some high school. That's not right.
No,
and
we
we
need to fix that.
we feel like
Right.
we need to get them up.
Right.
You get good you need good teachers, but you also on the higher ed you need really good teachers as well.
And this is
And
almost
so-
a duplicate bill, basically, right? Kind of, sort of, because your bill just dealt with K through 12,
Yeah.
and your bill deals all the way up through
It does all the education.
through IHL.
But
So
we also did the PERS fix in that bill where we're
Yeah, we had a separate bill for that.
Right.
where we're lowering the years from 35 to 30 for all state employees except first responders. First responders would go to 25 years.
Yeah. And we're going to look seriously at that.
that bill comes over to you guys. right.
If we think we can afford it, won't bankrupt the system, then after the actuaries get through
Right.
it, we would love to do that.
There's a possibility that survives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I think
in some form that bill
some
survives.
form of that's going to survive.
It's going to survive, right? Where the first responders get moved down to 25,
Right.
Because that's, I think everybody agrees that that's a big piece.
PERS says it doesn't make that much of a difference to drop down to 30, and it wouldn't make that much more difference on the
For
first
just
responders.
first responders.
The actuaries, I'm sure, are looking at that.
They are.
Right, that's where they're getting.
It's just going to take us longer to get to where we want to be because of the fact that we're.
Do you see it going to 25?
For first responders?
first
For-
responders.
Yes.
I think it's a possibility now.
that's-
2 weeks ago, I would have said no.
Right.
But now I see it kind of leaning that way.
And
So,
from 35 to 30.
yes.
So that's probably going to survive.
It's just going to take us
Okay.
longer to get up to that 80%
It will.
funded that
It will.
they asked for.
And then one other little piece in this about teachers that's coming from Senate going down is moving the retired teachers, allowing them to come back
Absolutely.
from 90 days down to 45.
They only have to sit out
They don't
45
have to sit out,
days.
so you're basically cutting it in half. Is
That's
that right?
correct. That's correct. And also in that same thing, where they couldn't draw but what 50 or 55% of their salary.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think it was 50%. Now it's 65% of their salary. And Gene was right last week of what they were making when they left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's passed over to you guys. Does that survive in some type of capacity?
Some type, I believe. I mean, we had that in HB2.
Right, that's right, because these are little carve outs that you had in HB2.
Right.
But HB2 is a little bit different. You had cut it to 30, I believe, right?
I cannot remember, but yeah, I think so.
So what that affects, just for everybody to understand, so when teachers retire that been teaching chemistry, so say it's more cost effective for them to go home after 25 years, you lose a really good chemistry teacher.
Yeah. And
So
we-
what you're trying to do is bring that education back into the school system because we need the teachers.
We need we have over $3,800 teacher shortage right
Yes,
now.
Right, we need teachers, and so
Yeah.
we need veteran teachers to stay.
That's,
So you're trying to incentivize this,
we are.
right?
We are.
Please stay- right.
Yeah, and the principals and the school districts know who the good teachers are
Sure,
that have retired,
right.
and they'll go after them.
And they don't have to necessarily stay in the district. Say if there was a teacher in Brandon that had been teaching
Sure.
chemistry and they were a really good teacher, they'd been there for 25, 26 years, they retired, they
Yeah.
could come to Pearl if they wanted to.
Absolutely.
So you're not limiting where they can go.
Oh no.
You're just saying, hey, we're going to incentivize you. Is that-
Yeah.
So that probably survives in some form or fashion. So see, those are two really good things that,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
yes. Now the COLA, I'm not so sure about. I mean, I'm really not. We are talking about tier 5, right?
Right, we're
So
talking
let's-
about tier 5.
So let's run into that. Let's
Well-
talk about y'all this committee survival of COLA.
Well, the Tier 5, I think in the beginning, basically said that a COLA is not guaranteed.
It did.
And so what we tried to do, it says if we have the money. So what we're trying to do is trying to make sure that we have the money in a Tier 5 for the COLA. And so we've actually passed a bill to put, even though you realize Tier 5 hadn't even started yet, we're already
know,
putting
right?
extra money in it.
We still got a few weeks before anybody even enrolled
That's
in
right,
this.
that's right. But we passed a bill to put $5 million in toward a COLA of Tier 5.
Okay, and that's coming from gaming, is that right?
Not on our side,
Not on your side.
no.
But on
Well,
your
we haven't passed anything on gaming.
So that no revenue coming from gaming. So maybe I'm thinking, is it the House side?
The House has that.
That the revenue's coming
It
from
doesn't have
gaming?
anything to do with the COLA. That has to do with funding PERS.
PERS, right. That's
Just solving, in other words,
Well, PERS in general, yeah.
they were putting 500,000 and then $50,000 a year, or $50 million a year.
No, we
Yeah.
put 500 million.
That's what I said, 500 million.
Million,
Right.
Just-
yeah.
You gotta read my mind, not listen to what I told them. 500
It's a
million.
bunch of zeros.
Yeah, and then $50 million a year for 10 years. So
Right.
that takes it to $1 billion. So what we
Right.
were doing was 600 million
right.
cash and then putting in the money from online
That's
games,
it.
Sports
Online
betting.
gaming.
sports betting.
The sports betting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Uh,
bill has always failed in the Senate. So,
Yeah, so-
Right.
our chairman is not in favor of it, and I don't know that they can change his
If
mind.
they could change his mind. on
And the
getting-
problem there is you got part of the casinos want it and part of them don't want it, and he's sitting there saying, "Now, y'all gotta make up your mind one way or the other.
Well, pick
Yeah,
one.
that's
I ain't
right.
doing
Either
nothing
you
until
for
you
it-
decide
right.
it."
Right, y'all are 50, y'all are split, so pick one. Which one, yeah, right. But the COLA part here that we're talking about specifically on this one is going to tier 5.
It is 5 million.
And it's just general fund appropriation.
It is.
But we don't have one of those.
Right, it's headed to you.
Right.
Yeah, they're getting one.
You're getting one. It's headed to you. So I'm wondering. So between
That'll go to appropriations, and I'm not on there. so
between the two of them, the gaming part you said is not going to make it.
Probably.
But
Probably not. I don't know that.
but you may rework that bill
Well,
possibly.
there could be some changes.
There could be some changes because two things that I know for sure are probably going to work here is you're going to get COLA passed for Tier 5, and you're going to move down the 25 years, and you're going to get
I hope so.
those things are going to change. We know that for Tier 5. And also,
I don't know about the COLA.
but the COLA may not make it.
Yeah.
But the
we're
other
gonna,
thing that
we're
we
going to
know,
increase the money that's in PERS. That's what's going to
and
make
the
it.
other thing that's going to change is you're going to put a bunch of money in PERS.
Right. Yeah.
Y'all are going to work that out in committee, and there'll be so those two things will definitely survive. COLA may not this year.
Yeah.
But with the 500 million plus that we're putting in, plus 50 million a year for 10 years, will really make a difference in the existing.
In the existing stuff.
Yeah.
So people that are
And for
concerned
the
about
new ones,
PERS,
Yeah.
you're really just, you're not doing any change, you're funding.
Yeah.
You're funding, you're putting money into.
And as I've said more than once on this program, if no one paid in another penny, I mean, not a person, not an employee or an agency or a school, anything else, we got $38 billion right now in PERS. 38 billion, not million, but billion. We went from thousands to millions. Now I'm talking about billions, and so we've got enough money for the next 20 years. But we got to look beyond that, and we've got to make sure that we're doing
And
the
the
right.
economy, the stock market hit incredible
I don't know what's going on
new
there.
highs.
We're making a lot of money with PERS right now.
I know, right?
Or not.
I hope we are.
Well, I hope we are too, because the economy, the Dow, just an insane.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh! I remember when I was
Well,
younger, a teenager, 40 years ago, and the Dow was like 8,000
you know,
or less.
Let me tell you what caused all this controversy, in my opinion. Now,
Yes,
this is not
yes.
any other senator, lieutenant governor, anybody else. But when PERS board changed the guaranteed return on our money from like 7.5 to 7, that all at once the projected revenue was not as much. And when you're dealing with billions, you're talking about
that's a lot of
of
money.
percentage.
Right.
If we could go back to 7.5, if they would do that, we'd have more. Everybody think we're rich in PERS again.
Just by 0.5%.
So that's one of the things that bill does is it forces them to take it back,
Really?
move it back. Yeah.
Well, that would make a big difference.
Does it make it? Does that
I don't
survive?
know that.
Does that piece survive, you think? Handwriting on the wall?
I couldn't. That's beyond my pay grade.
Oh, now that's right in your pay grade. That's in your wheelhouse.
I couldn't tell you. I would like to see it myself personally, but
yeah, if you say you're the underboss of the whole deal, so
yeah, but I'm one vote also.
I know that. I know. But I'm just wondering, so there's a lot of good things here that are going to get worked out that are moving. There's a lot of bad things that got killed in education, but there's a lot of good things that are going to
absolutely.
get worked out. The teacher thing I think is great. Dropping that number down to 45 days, that's great. Funding PERS is great. I mean, all those things.
Well, let me tell you what the
both
90 to
sides doing some
45
good
days
things.
does.
Yeah.
It allows a teacher to retire in January and go back to work in the fall.
In the fall.
Instead of the 90 days, won't let them do that.
Right. Well, I mean, they could retire. They practically could retire before the Christmas break, and come back in February.
They don't have that long of a Christmas break.
I mean,
It ain't like it was
I
when I
know,
was
right? But I
school.
mean, I have a really good friend who's retiring. He has his master's in mathematics. He is one of the top teachers at Pearl.
He may want to come back for a semester and share the year with
I
someone
mean,
else.
he's like, I'm going on vacation.
Good for him.
He's done. After
He's earned it.
He's earned it. That's right. He's earned it. He also served in the military, so he has military time.
They picked up 4 extra years.
So yeah, he's exactly. So but anyway, I think that's a great thing. So moving on to other stuff. Let's get into a few things like TRICARE for National Guard. We talked about this last week.
We did.
And that passed out of the Senate and headed over to you
Yeah.
guys. So
And we passed one out of his house.
I
and
figured
set it
say
over
this-
there.
We'll get together, and they'll probably flip a coin to the House bill.
that's where I was going to say. Your bill just covers the cost. What does the House bill cover for TRICARE? Is it complete?
It's the same bill.
It's identical.
It
far as I know.
covers the cost for a soldier or airman for TRICARE.
Okay.
That's what it does. That's what
Not
the
for
bill
the
does.
family, but for the
Just
soldier.
for the
But-
soldier.
but for
But
the-
it also allows
but for
that
the
soldier to buy TRICARE for his family, or
Okay.
his or her family.
Okay. So really, the bills are identical.
Yeah.
So that's
This was a request from Mississippi Army and Air National Guard.
okay. So yeah, that's going to survive for sure.
Yeah.
In whatever capacity comes out of the committees, y'all will get together and.
Unless them appropriations people decide it costs too much money.
Who would that be?
We'll see.
The appropriations chair.
Who would that be?
No, that's Briggs Hobson, actually.
Yeah,
And then our
right.
finance chairman that works with him
Yes.
is from Rankin County, is Josh Harkins on our side. On your side,
The appropriations chair is John Reed from the coast, and then Ways and Means chairman is Trey Lamar from up North Mississippi.
yeah,
Okay.
they're good guys.
So
We'll work it out.
that's going to be a huge benefit for now recruitment wise.
It's
That should drive a lot of recruitment for people, younger people who want to go serve in the Guard.
Absolutely.
Because what a huge benefit that would be.
And also that are in the Guard thinking about retiring might want to stay in
You might want to stay in.
until they get aid for Medicare.
Right. Because that's a recruitment tool. I mean, I see that as a recruitment tool to help bolster our Mississippi National Guard.
Yeah.
Coming out of high school or kids getting out of college, going, that want to serve their community. That's a wonderful thing, and to know you're going to get TRICARE paid for when you leave.
well, we think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge recruitment tool. I like it. All right, so let's move into something else, Senator. Senate Bill 2487, adolescent illiteracy bill, and it specifically talks about reading for 4th and 8th graders.
Yeah, we've had, I'll refer to that Mississippi Miracle we're talking about.
Yes.
We've gone from 48th to 9th, 8th or 9th in 4th grade reading. And we're very proud of that. And like I say, a lot of people can take credit. We can't take credit for it. I mean, that's the schools and the parents. But after the 4th grade to the 8th grade, it drops off. And all at once, you go from like 8th or 9th in the nation to 48th in the nation in 8th grade. So somewhere between the 4th and the 8th grade, we're dropping the ball. So we've passed some legislation to tighten up the reading instructions and all that for 5th through to 8th, really, or through 8th. So we want all of our students to be able to read at a level that they're supposed to read.
Yeah, I noticed in here it requires MDE to set up evidence-based reading interventions.
That's right.
Access for trained reading teachers, specialists, or dyslexia therapists. You specifically name that.
Yeah.
And with tiered screening 3 times a year.
Yeah.
I mean, you must have had a lot of input from some really smart educators.
Well, we did. Actually, I'll give the Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosen a lot of credit. He met with the associations and the Department of Education and superintendents all at different times. It's, what do we need to do? What can we do to help you? This is, you tell us and we'll do it. And that's a result of that.
Yeah, I mean you've got 3 times a year tiered screening. I mean, if you go to school 10 months out of the year, 9.5, 10 months out of the year, you're going to screen 3 times a year. That's basically once every 3.5, 4 months.
Yeah.
So you're really tracking what that student's doing, and then there's a couple other things in there.
And I don't think parents, when a kid gets in 5th grade, all at once says, we're not going to help you with your homework anymore. Yeah, I don't believe that. Now, maybe when they get in the 5th grade or 7th grade, they don't want to do their homework, and the parent maybe can make them do their homework, and they can do that.
I guess that depends on who the parent is.
That's right. You've got to have good parents to help kids in school. It's more than just teacher.
It is.
And unfortunately, that's not always the case. And our teachers actually become mama or daddy. Just a lot of them.
Right, and that's not their role.
No.
It
no,
shouldn't have. We should not expect them to have to do that.
No.
It should be parents that deal with that.
That's right.
I know I did with mine. Teachers
you
didn't
know,
have to do anything with mine. I mean, none of them.
I'm not going to name the school, and I'm not going to name the, any parents or anything else. But I know for a fact there are schools where the teachers, especially on advanced classes, but on all classes, where if they see a kid's falling behind, they'll call the parent and say, Johnny here, or Gene or Dean's falling behind in math or whatever. And I would like to meet with him before school tomorrow if you can have, and they don't have to pay for tutors. They'll actually,
Yes.
the teacher will meet the kid at school at like 7:30 and say, here's what your weekend, let me explain it to you and work with you. And the teachers are doing that. That's good teachers. That's good teachers, dedicated teachers, and they're doing that.
And I mentioned a friend of mine who teaches math at the high school, and he talks about calling some of these parents and just
Absolutely.
and he's like he says it's crickets. They don't get any. He said there's parents that I call that I just cannot get any support from, and he said and it's a shame that I have to bring the kid in early because the kids want to learn. They don't want to be stupid.
No, they don't.
Clearly they don't. And he tells me, he said, they want to learn. He said, I'll meet with them early. I'll meet with them late. He said, I tutor a bunch of kids. But he said, parents helping? Forget it.
And teachers tell me that after they work with a kid for a while, all at once you can see it on their face. The light bulb goes off, and they catch on to, oh, I didn't understand it there.
And now they do. Just a little bit of help,
A little
bit
bit
of hand holding, which is great that we're going to keep teachers around when they retire and you're giving them the ability.
That's right.
See, all this just works together. You see how this works together?
Well, it's supposed to.
Yes, it's the way it's supposed. It's the way it's supposed to work. And so I think that's a great thing, and I hope that survives over with you guys in some capacity, because that sounds like it.
Well, we need
The way that it's written in the Senate sounds really good. I don't know what the House may do to it, if it even survives. You don't know. It's not dead yet. Until,
Oh no! I would think the House would be very interested.
It's not
in that.
dead.
Now,
There's
It's
dead.
still alive. There was some parts of that in the
Yeah.
HB2 thing, but
Right. I mean, there's dead,
Like I
which
say,
we just got through. Then there's really dead. So we're coming up on dead.
But on most of these bills, like I say,
Yeah.
they're just starting on one side, and we're starting on the other. But we want to all
meet
put
in
the
the
puzzle
middle.
together, and we can.
Let's touch base on something real quick that you wanted to mention: sales tax exemption on farm equipment.
Yeah, our farmers are struggling. There's no doubt about it. You talk to any farmer, and they'll tell you that kind of like some of these independent pharmacy drugstores, they're not making money right now, and they're struggling. And where the farms, like say in the Delta as an example, or North Mississippi, or East Mississippi, where you have the farms to buy a big piece of equipment right now. When I say big, I'm talking about $300,000, $500,000. Of course, it could be $100, but it doesn't matter. The fact of it is, they'll just go across the river, or drive a few, and save several hundred or several thousands of dollars in purchasing equipment. And we're saying, and because the states around us on agriculture equipment do not have a tax on farm equipment. And so we only have a 1.5 cent tax right now. We're going to do away with it and keep the money in state, and also make it more convenient and better for the farmers. It'll save them money.
It'll save them money.
Yeah. The ones that are buying in Mississippi because they go to church with this guy, they went to school with a guy, whatever, owns a farm implement dealership or whatever. So, and now they'll be able to do business together. And the farmers appreciate anything we can do for them right now.
We need farmers.
We
Very
definitely
important.
need farmers.
Very important. I mean, AI is going to change farming. It already has.
Oh, sure.
And it's absolutely, but we need to keep good agricultural policies, and it's a very good one. The state doesn't need the money from sales tax on farm equipment.
No, that's not going to make or break this state.
It's not going to make or break the state.
But it'll help those individual farmers. And I'm going to tell you, the small farmers are limited right now. There's not many of those. The big farmers are are buying them all up.
Right, it's the small farmers
They're hurting.
that this will help, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Let's hope that survives in the
I
House.
hope it does, and I think it probably will.
I would think so.
I can't imagine them being against that.
I think Representative Newman would already be going, it's going to make it more than likely.
Maybe.
Nothing's guaranteed.
But the state of Mississippi is not going to go broke. Getting rid
Helping
of
the farmers.
I mean, that's not. Yeah, that's good policy, and we've cut taxes on everything else. Why can't we do that?
Yeah.
And speaking of taxes, where are we on taxing electric charging vehicles, Representative Newman?
Okay, so I've had a bill the last several years that would increase, or we would actually add a tax to these charging stations out here.
like the Tesla charging stations and things like that. Right.
So that those people are paying taxes to support the roads. Well, my bill this year did a little bit more, because it took the 9 cents, the 3 cents, 3 cents, 3 cents in fuel tax that is being done, and it it adds that into it. So tags would increase to facilitate that. But one thing I did do was motorcycles, which are 2 wheels, they have electric motorcycles now. I dropped that tax in half for them, so they wouldn't pay as much. So
So about when they buy their tag?
yeah, when they buy their tag,
Yeah.
I think it's like
Well, it was 75.
75
and
and
150 for all.
150, with
Now
75 for hybrids and 150 for, but it's gone up. You know, it has a automatic increase in it. But
Yeah.
this bill would fix the 9 cents that 3 cents a year. It would increase those tags going up for that, and then it would add a tax, the same amount of tax that we pay in fuel tax to those charging stations.
Yeah.
So they're using the same roads.
They're using the same
It
roads.
obviously makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. Motorcycles don't tear up a road like an 18.
No, they don't. But I mean, Tesla just this weekend released their specifications on their new semi truck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's massive. The weight
But
on that
a
thing.
Tesla car, you look at it and say, well, that's a small car, but it weighs, the batteries and stuff in that car weighs as much
The batteries
as
are very heavy.
That's
regular car.
It's the weight on the asphalt,
Right.
and the pavement that we're talking about.
Right.
Right. And so that Tesla vehicle, the Tesla trucks that are coming out, they're going to weigh. Oh my gosh!
No telling.
I can't
how
tell.
many
Well, the
batteries
specs
are
have come out on it, and it's very heavy.
Yeah.
But obviously, it can pull across country and with limited charging.
And as the years go, those batteries will get smaller
They
and
will.
stronger.
They'll get
with
lighter
technology.
and stronger. But you still, just
And I don't see them lasting that long. I think we're going to switch over to hydrogen or something else before it's over with.
before it's over with.
So do I.
That's probably very true. But that something of that nature with the tax coming out on is going to survive. You
Right.
believe? Yes.
I don't know. I've not been successful with getting it going anywhere before. So
Right.
But I hope so. I mean, they act like they're going to do something with it. So I don't know. Well, I'm not on a committee, so.
Right. So let's talk about a couple other things that before we get out of here today. I failed to mention, it was on my list. We've talked about it several times before. Cell phones in schools. Does it survive? The Senate passed it out. Does it survive over in the House?
I hope so. I think it's something that's necessary, but like I say, I'm not on education.
I
So
know.
I don't know what they'll do.
It passed from the Senate.
Yeah, I think we just leave that to the school district and
Yeah.
asking them to do something.
Right. And so it was one of those things. I wanted to go back and just touch on it because that's something that's still alive.
Yeah.
That hasn't. It's not dead. So a couple of things I want to talk about. First, the calendar before we get out of here. Calendar. We've had our first getting out of committee deadline. You've got another one coming up on the 12th.
The deadline on the 12th is to get it out of the originating house.
Yeah. Well, anything that's on the calendar, if it's not passed within, well, not anything. There's some resolutions. And,
Right.
you know,
Right.
local and private,
The 12th
things
is the
like
dead
that.
day.
But on general bills, yes.
So we have dead, then we have dead, and then we have dead. Now
So-
we're coming up on dead date.
Well, no, this is just dead. It's still another dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't figure once we got past the 12th.
No, it's
So-
dead.
Yeah.
It ain't dead. It ain't dead.
Yeah,
dead.
because you have bills that have code sections in them and they come back, and if they have the code section, even in conference, they can add something.
It can come
So
back.
It's
Yeah.
it's not
We're just
over
not-
till all the conference reports are passed.
That's the dead.
Yeah.
That's the real dead.
And don't
When we
ever
say sine
forget.
die.
And don't ever forget, with 2/3 of a vote, we can do anything we want to.
Yeah.
At any time. All right, so appropriations and those things are on a different calendar. So
Right.
there's a lot of things that are still alive on that side
Oh,
Right.
certainly. Yeah.
for both House and
Yeah,
Senate.
right.
Yeah.
The appropriation, that's way down the line.
Yeah.
Well,
that
it's-
gets,
But
It's
your general
2
bill
more weeks.
deadlines are this week.
yeah, 2 more weeks on that, right?
Yeah.
I think that's right.
So there's one in particular that we've talked about that would be beneficial that we hope survives appropriation, which is the red light intersection change for MDOT
Murray
at
Drive.
Murray Drive.
Yeah.
We're working on it. And several other projects in Rankin
Right.
County.
But that one would be a game changer for the Pearson Road.
Right.
It would be.
And it would allow that.
Well, it would allow that property on the south side of 20 there to be opened up.
And so the property we're talking about specifically is that property next to A1 Appliance and the gas station right there
Right.
on that southeast corner
That's correct.
of Pearson and 20. That's where we're talking about. And you can't develop any of that property
Because you can't get into it.
because of the intersection. And this appropriation bill would help fix that for MDOT.
Right, that's correct.
It would.
And then you could open that up because there's so much availability. I mean, there are people that want to develop that area, but you just can't. Hopefully that survives.
They're going to have access to the property. Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully that survives and it makes it.
I hope so.
So appropriations, couple more weeks.
Gene's introduced a lot of good bills.
Yeah, he has. You've had a bunch and had a bunch die. just can't. They
It's
just,
it's just the way it works.
it takes time, doesn't it? It takes time.
Well, the old saying is any really good legislation takes 3 years to pass. If it's if it's complicated at all, it takes 3 years for people to understand why and the needs are.
Hey,
Yeah.
I would like to explain why I killed a bill.
Okay.
And I'm on apportionment elections. We were in a committee meeting and we had already done about 4 or 5 bills, and we were like 3 minutes before we had to be in session. And the chairman brings up a bill that's 50 pages that I hadn't seen, hadn't had a chance to read. I wasn't expecting that bill to come up on the agenda that day. But now we got 3 minutes and he wants to bring that bill out. And I'm looking at the folks around the table, and I could tell from their faces that they hadn't read it either, and they hadn't really had a chance to look at it. It was a campaign finance bill, so a lot of people are interested in it. But I'm not going to pass a bill out and then read it later.
Mm-hmm.
So I tabled it, and it killed it. And I'm not apologizing for it. It's just the way it was. I mean, I was not going to pass a bill like that. I don't do business like that.
Right. You weren't
So-
going Nancy Pelosi.
No, I don't want to go
I was
on
thinking Nancy the whole time. You can
So-
read it later, just vote for it.
No, that just wasn't going to happen. And they were going to fix it later. Any problems? No, you on something like that, that's too important to fix later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I killed it, and I'm not going to apologize for it. That's the way
Right.
it was.
Right. Bring it up next time when we have time to talk about it.
Right.
Right. I got it. Well, I'm all for that. Let's not pass something and read a bill later.
But,
Yeah,
I
we
just
see what
had-
happens when that goes.
I
down.
think
some
we
of the
have
news
a
folks
very
didn't like
similar
it.
bill that did pass out of our committee. I haven't seen it yet. It's on the calendar. I'm going to read it and see. But I think ours is more for what we call hidden, hidden money, dark money. We don't know where it's coming from. It's been funneled through several different
Yeah.
places.
Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, so I think that's what our bill does, is so that we can track that and
Yeah.
show where the money's coming from.
Right. There's way too much money in politics as it is, all well through the federal level.
Yeah.
It's deplorable, in my opinion, and a lot of those need to be fixed.
Yeah.
A lot of things need to change. Yeah, don't even get me started.
Well, like I say, anything can be improved.
It can.
And so we're going to look at it, but I don't know that it'll pass.
And it may have been the greatest bill ever, Gene,
It may have.
but you don't bring it up with only a few minutes before you have to go in
And
session.
if you're
and
going
try
to put it on
ram
the
down
agenda,
my
you at
throat.
least you should tell somebody you're going to put that on the
You
agenda.
should have time to explain the bill, at least in
Right.
committee to people. Yeah.
So y'all may can do something with the Senate version.
We'll see.
We'll see, right? We'll see.
Yeah, and ours, you know, I may not like it, to be honest with you. It may do more than what it's supposed to do, or a lot less than it's supposed to. I don't know. But,
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
Just really getting started.
yeah.
February 12th, by next week, we'll have
That's
some
it.
more information.
And if you don't know why I hadn't read it, it's because we had 1,500 bills. You got to remember that.
How many? Let's see.
We're down to
I didn't-
300.
I
Now we're
feel-
down to 200.
Is that the number?
200. That's what we have on our
Is
calendar.
what you have on your calendar. It's probably similar somewhere.
About the
there.
same thing.
About the same thing. So we went from thousands to hundreds.
That's right.
Literally a couple of hundred.
Yeah.
And we'll wind up in general bills with about 220. That's my guess.
Somewhere.
General bills that will actually pass.
That
That'll
will
get
pass.
Signed, that will
Yeah.
get signed by the governor.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I love how the sausage is made.
It's not a pretty sight.
No, but it's
The
very.
end result.
It's very, very, very informative, and we do appreciate it. So thank you guys. I know y'all
Well,
got
thank
busy
you.
schedules. Thank you for always coming in on Monday and walking through this with us, so that hopefully people out there, can understand a little bit better how this goes, and with you guys how this goes. And
Well, we have some really good and very bright people up there,
Yes,
staff
we do.
included, that keeps us, and we have a lot of constituents that keep us straight too. So,
absolutely. Well, thank y'all very
So-
much. Y'all have a good week.
well,
and,
next week we should have a lot to report as well.
Oh my gosh, I was drinking through a fire hose.
Yeah.
Trying to sift through all the information that,
Yeah.
that you guys have gone
Here's
through.
here's the amazing thing I want to say. Even though we passed like over 100 bills last week
Mm-hmm.
now, we took up the non-controversial bills mostly last week.
Right.
The hard ones are this week.
The hard ones are
hard
this
ones are
week.
this
That's
week.
right.
Right. And we'll see. Yes,
We'll
sir.
be working late.
Keep
It'll
the
be
folks
fun,
up in
though.
North Mississippi in your prayers.
Absolutely. As
They
they
need
still try to recover
Yep.
from
Yeah.
all that nightmare.
Yep.
That was a mess.
It
I-
really
I-
was.
Not to prolong this, but we just had our generators worked on here, and they had to put us off because all the generator companies were up North Mississippi trying to keep generators running and
Absolutely.
fixing generators that had not quit. And the guy that came and serviced mine, he'd been spending his entire time at North
Well,
Mississippi.
we had a senator in North Mississippi that has what he calls a barn, and people were bringing him that could get there, or he'd go pick them up on his tractor. But he was working on. He told me he had like 30 generators. He stayed up late, like up in the morning, working on other
Get 'em-
people's
get 'em
generators to
running.
help them. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they've been through a lot.
They have. Absolutely. Thank you guys very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I
Appreciate
appreciate
it, and
this.
y'all have-
It's really nice to be able to tell what we've done.
Yeah.
So
Or didn't do.
Or didn't.
or didn't do.
No, this is a great show for that.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect for that. And we appreciate you gentlemen being
Well,
here.
it takes a village. It takes a
I
county.
appreciate the city doing this. This is very beneficial for a lot of people.
It is. And we like to bring it to our citizens and everybody else who wants to watch, because
Yeah.
well, you guys make news over here. We're on the
Hopefully
forefront.
it's good news.
There is no other program anywhere. Now, there's radio talk shows people call in on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But if you really want to get into the minutia about what's going on, right here.
And you want to see it on TV? This
This is
to
the
see.
place. This is the show right here. Anyway, thanks guys. I know we
Thank
got a
you.
busy schedule, so y'all don't run off, because when we come back, we're going to talk about what's going on this week in Pearl. So y'all stay right there. There you go.
Here in Pearl, we have Trustmark Park. It seats 8,500 people. It's a great venue that we have here locally. You can catch a baseball game. We have a new team, the Mississippi Mud Monsters, so we're so excited about that. And Trustmark Park The stadium's been fully renovated. Adjacent to that, we have Bass Pro Shop, as well as the Mississippi outlets that people can come shop and enjoy and have a great time. So it's a good place to come. It's a destination spot for our city. We did a $12 million renovation to our Parks and Rec several years ago, and what we were missing was another key area for our children to come and just be able to hang out and have fun, but also have some playground equipment that was really cutting edge. I've always thought if you can get your community together, then you can have a stronger sense of community. And I think that's what Main Street brings to the table for us. And even though we're a post-World War II city and our architectural doesn't signify a downtown, we're trying to have an area that we create that people can come together and have a sense of community.
Hi folks, welcome back into This Week in Pearl, where we just went under the dome with Representative Gene Newman and Senate Pro Tem Dean Kirby. Fantastic conversation. Love hearing how the sausage is made. I want to tell you, we really get to know kind of how the inner workings of the legislature and how all of that works right here on this show, listening to those two fine gentlemen. It's really amazing that they are able to keep up with as many bills that they have coming across. They started out with over 3,000, and now each chamber is down to less than 300 each. So by the time it's all done, you heard Representative Newman, probably around 240 some odd will end up becoming law out of the legislature this year. All right, so what's going on in Pearl? Well, we have a couple of things. March of the Mayor's Canned Corn Drive is going on right now. That's brought to you by Extra Table Feeds. Help Pearl collect canned corn for our state and local pantries. Drop-off locations are right here at Pearl City Hall at 2420 Old Brandon Road. Pearl Senior Center, 110 Valentour, which is on the far northwest corner of our block. Pearl Fire Station 1, which is the new station on the top of the hill across from the city park, and really the school administrative offices is just directly across the street next to the Federal Veterans Board right there on the hill, Pearl Fire Station 1. And as well as the Pearl Police Department at 2561 Old Brandon Road, which is literally right down the street to the east from City Hall. So be sure and drop off canned corn. When you go to the store, just buy a few extra cans of corn and please bring those to any of those drop-off locations so that we can help feed the homeless. Also, Pearl High School Theater has advanced to the SETC, a national competition in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They need your help in getting there. They are requesting that they have a new fundraiser coming in to check out the Pearl High School Theater Department on Facebook. So go to the Pearl High School Theater Department on Facebook and look at their fundraiser and help send them to Chattanooga, Tennessee to the SETC National Competition. Also, Pearl Community Theater is presenting Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So come out and support the kids February 12th through the 15th. Tickets are available on their Facebook page, the Pearl Community Theater Facebook page. And you can go there and get your tickets the 12th through the 15th of February at the Pearl Community Theater. And I believe they actually host that in the PAC for the actual event, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So you want to check that out. And then I wanted to also finish with this. Pearl Day has a special announcement coming up. So be prepared. Check all the social media, all of our information channels, because Pearl Day announcement is coming up soon and you're going to want to hear it. So anyway, thank you for being here today. Hope you all have a great week. I'm your host, Frank Hutton. Look forward to seeing you next time on This Week in Pearl. Y'all have a great week, everybody.